She threw out her address.
No.
And
No.
I asked you, you said I live by Yankee Stadium.
That's not giving an address.
I was about to walk into the living room. She said,
Take
your shoes off. Yeah.
That question sparked an entire 8-hour conversation.
What make you say like this is real love? Like what makes you feel like that?
For us to want to share our relationship and, you know, create a better life together, that's what makes this a real thing.
That's deep. You touched my heart with that one. You never said that to me before.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not a job here. Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Mike Marcus. This is my lady,
Walisha.
and I want to welcome you guys. Well, we want to welcome you guys to Live in Your Truth. We pretty much, me and Alicia, we're from the Bronx. I'm from South Bronx. She's from the Uptown Bronx. Me and her happen to go to high school together, and it's crazy because I haven't seen her since high school, you know, and
Before our relationship, obviously.
oh yeah, of course, before that. But I haven't seen her necessarily since high school. So pretty much we always follow each other on Instagram, social media, stuff like that. And it's just crazy, you know, one day I just wrote her and I just was like, you know, hey, how you doing? What's going on? How's everything been? I was like kind of curious, you know. We had a little minor conversation over the time frame due to like, you know, like our lives, you know, you like a story, whatever the case is. And, you know, we used to like really just pick each other's minds from things that we used to post. I post a lot of motivational content, and it's crazy because you was kind of doing the same, right? And, you know, we used to just comment on things like, or, you know, agree to disagree, whatever the case is. And randomly, I just wrote her one day and I was like, hey, look, you know, I don't know if you're busy today or whatever the case is, but, you know, it would be cool like to hang out one day. And that one day was pretty much the next day, right? We ended up hanging out.
It was like a Monday and then for a Friday.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so a few days in between. And it's crazy because I remember like, you know, I had a pretty busy day, but I was looking forward to Friday, you know, and I did, yeah, like anybody would, you know what
Like
I'm saying?
Norbit, Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, I was super hyped.
Norbit in the shower.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy? I know most people, you know, of course, men, I'm talking to the guys, you know, you'd be excited like you haven't seen somebody in a long time. It's like you know them, but you don't really know them. In high school, we used to just say hi and bye. It wasn't really like we had a lot of conversations. And ideally, you know, I just was excited. Like it was like a mystery. It's like, man, I haven't seen her in so long. I wonder what she's been up to. You know, I follow her, but I wasn't following her. Did that make sense? And it's like, you know, I just wanted to reconnect again. So ideally, I was just like, hey, what is it that you want to do? Whatever case. She said, yeah, we can, I mean, anything.
Food is ideal.
Yes. Food
Don't
is
invite
out
me
there.
where the food is not at.
Yeah,
I'm where the food is.
Yeah, so long story short, I had to, you know, I was just like, all right, cool. You know, we could do the food. So me and her go back and forth about this, but look, she threw out her address.
No.
And
No.
I asked you said I live by Yankee Stadium.
That's not giving an address.
Listen, I know where you live. I can literally stalk Yankee Stadium. I mean, I'll probably run into you. You're probably walking somewhere. So ideally, you know, she said Yankee Stadium. So I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe she's trying to invite me to her house. I mean, not to sound pushy or nothing. I'm not a pushy guy, but I started to think, all right, well, cool. I said, what would you like to eat? She's like, oh, I eat seafood. I'm like, that's great. You know, I'm a pescatarian. She's the same. So ideally, I'm like, oh, this is cool. You know, I had no expectations, by the way. It's not like I was thinking like, oh yeah, I'm about to go there and we about to get it on like Donkey Kong. Nah, I ain't think that at all. I was just like, I really wanted to just catch up with her, you know, and ideally that day, you know, I ended up having to run a few errands. We ended up meeting up really late. So I ended up sending the food there, right? Thinking I was going to get there. I didn't even get to eat with her necessarily. And I was a little nervous to write her because I was late. What was the time? Like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock?
12.
No. What was the time I told you originally that I was going to come?
Like 9 or 10.
Yeah, I played myself. So imagine this. I disappeared for like 2 hours. She's like, oh, you know, I went to check in on her. She didn't rush me or nothing. I said, hey, are you still awake? Whatever, is it too late? You know, I didn't want to be weird. She's like, nah, it's okay. So I did like any good man would. Show up at 12 a.m. So long story short, you know, I get there. I ain't get no hug, no nothing, to be honest. She opened up the door. She said, hello. I said, hey, how you doing? I was about to walk into the living room. She said, take your shoes off. Yeah. So I took off the shoes. You know, and in sales, right, it's so funny. I went to go sit next to her. So the couch is basically similar to this. I went to sit next to her. We wasn't going to be this close, but, you know, at a little distance. And she was like, sit over there. And I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm not trying to be, you know. Went to sit down, sitting there. So I'm like, oh, hey, so how you been? How's everything? My energy's the same way. How you been? How's everything? She's like, everything been good. Let me ask you a question. What made you come over here? She like, what made you come over here? Now, I'm not going to lie. Instantly, I feel like I was in the interview, to be honest with you. I'm like, wait, hold on. It wasn't supposed to go like this.
It's 12 o'clock. You know, I'm like, okay, here we are.
Yeah.
Why you here?
Long story short, she's like, why you here? And I'm like, nah, it's just because, you know, I haven't seen you in a while. And I was like, just curious on how things been with you, things like that. So she's like, oh, okay. But, you know, the most amazing part was that we literally were sitting there and we're talking, literally.
That question sparked an entire 8-hour conversation, 8.5-hour conversation.
Yeah. 8.5 hours, you know. And I'll tell you something. People don't usually talk that long. Yeah, unless maybe you probably do that with your new girlfriend, maybe. But she wasn't my girlfriend or nothing. This is just somebody I just reconnected with from high school. But the moment you could talk to somebody like that and be able to open up, you know, and talk about everything. Like literally we was talking about everything, even the most uncomfortable things. Trust me, like about men, our experiences, like, you know, with her, experiences with me, with females. It's just like, we just was going back and forth, just talking about everything, life and traumas. And it was crazy. It was like a therapy session.
You were my unofficial best friend for the night at 12 a.m.
At 12 a.m. What a good time to ponder, though. Think about that. That's probably why the deep conversation happened. But ideally, that whole organic, you know, the way it happened, it was so organic and it felt so great. Of course, the best line was the best text that you could possibly hear, right? The next day after you leave each other. Well, can I see you again? I had to answer that. I'm like, absolutely.
I don't think I asked you that.
You didn't?
No.
You sure?
I'm very sure. You maybe you thought that. Maybe you felt that. Maybe that's what you wanted to ask.
All right, cool. Maybe it was that. But long story short, I mean, we end up seeing each other again. But the best part was you actually wanted to share a meal with me that particular time. I'm mistaken?
Yes.
Yeah. So from there, I mean, we're clearly here now. And just, you know, it feels good, you know, to, I think, identify with somebody and really find your person. And that's pretty much why we pretty much created this platform. So other people can hopefully feel inspired. We're going to be talking about all types of things that matter, you know, substance, you know, talk about self-development, you know, because I believe who I became, I'm not the same person that I was in high school necessarily. You know, I believe my character is pretty much the same, but I had to definitely change some little things about me from trauma, right? I had to forgive a lot of things. I had to change my surroundings, right? The environment is different, right? But I never blame the environment on who we're gonna actually become, because the same way environment could change people, I believe people could change their environment. You know what I'm saying? So ideally, it was a lot of, you know, sticking and moving. But I believe if I can find success, and not only success in, you know, financially or with a career or
Genuine
just,
love.
like happiness, but to find love, right? We all want love in some shape or form and want that genuine support. And I just think until right now, I can really say I haven't really been able to really be my full self until now, me and Alicia. So I'm super excited. And I'm not just saying that for the camera. I mean, this is just something I tell her off the camera, you know, and just sporadically. It's just when I feel like it. You know what I'm saying?
Why are we doing this? Why did we decide
Why
to
are we
do
doing
this?
this? It's numerous reasons why we're doing this. It's numerous reasons. Do you want me
Name
to
one.
just say one thing? I mean, we're doing this realistically because I believe other people need to see an example in some shape or form. Right? I'm not telling, you know, nobody that they have to be us. Of course not. But they may be inspired to have something like this, right? Something special. Everybody wants something special.
Absolutely.
That you want to brag about, you want to really talk about, you want to feel a part of, you know, and I think everybody deserves that. But it first starts with the individual, because if you wasn't who you were and I wasn't who I am, this would never really work. It's just what it is. Absolutely. So I believe in people just finding that person. But how about you? What would you say?
What's the question again?
What is the point of doing this show, like, for you?
I'll say to show genuine connection. Not many people are able to experience that. They're looking for what they can get out of a situation instead of what they can do in a situation.
That makes sense. And what you feel like from, like, I mean, not to get all personal, but I gotta get personal.
Of course.
How do you feel like? Do you feel like this is something that you didn't have before, or you
I never had this before.
And what's that? What is that?
Real love.
Okay. So what makes that feel like? What make you say, like, this is real love? Like, what makes you feel like that?
Whew, it's hot in here.
It get a little hot sometimes.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
I feel like we're so aligned. We have similar ways. We can finish each other's sentences. It's not about what we can get from each other, but more so what we can do together. And I think that's powerful because, you know, coming from where we come from, it's like, what can you get from a situation? You know, how can you be a step ahead by yourself instead of how can I be better for myself and for those around me and bring them with me? Our city is very cutthroat. So for us to want to share our relationship and, you know, create a better life together, that's what makes this a real thing.
That's deep. You touched my heart with that one. You never said that to me before. But I like that, though. I like to hear something new. So that's cool. Yeah, that's deep. So from you, right, your personal experience, what is it that you think stopped you from getting that love, the love that we have necessarily, if you had to say?
A lot of things. I feel like people are unsure of who they are and what they want. You know, a lot of people don't make that clear. People don't know themselves enough to say, okay, this is who I am, this is what I want, and this is how I'm going to get it. It's just, you know, they want things that they're not. You know, right. You have to be exactly what you want. People are not that. They just have all of these expectations without meeting halfway. They have nothing to present other than what I want, what I need, and what I'm supposed to have. A sense of entitlement.
Yeah, I can.
Instead of, I'm this person, this is what I deserve, this is how I'm going to get it because this is who I am. It's a different approach. It's, right. I want this, I want that, and I'm supposed to have it because I'm this and I'm that. But it's a facade. It's like people are not really who they're supposed to be. And if they are, they should be with what they are.
That makes sense. See, that's deep, though, because, you know, I look at things and I'm like, I agree with everything you're saying. I feel like it goes back to what I was saying earlier, where it's like being a better you become more of an attraction. Therefore, you attract exactly
what you're supposed
to have, realistically. So that's why I think, and I'm sure you probably agree with me, when it comes down to, you know, self-development is big. Becoming better. If you became a better you, whatever you done thought about or whatever you're thinking about,
you can have.
You can pretty much have. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It may take a little time. I don't want to push it. You know what I'm saying? But ideally, you know, I believe you'll run into it and find it. But it's more or less, I think, because I feel like when I met you, and I really felt like, you know, you pretty much knew who you were. Like, meaning, like, what you were really into, what is, like, non-negotiables, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the vibe you gave me pretty much, was like, you know, I just feel like it was, whatever you said, it was easy to believe because you said it with complete,
conviction.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Super confident. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I spent a
lot of time by myself, you know, perfecting my character, you know, taking time to not deal with anybody, mm-hmm. to learn myself. Okay, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. This is who I am. This is who I'm okay with showing to the world. Like, but it takes some type of solitude. People can't do these things if they are constantly around things that distract them. in order to know who you are, you have to take time to figure it out. And
Right.
the only way you can do that is by yourself.
That's deep. You know what's crazy? I could agree to disagree because I feel like a lot of times my growth was actually with people, just the right people.
Okay.
Now, did I take time to myself? Of course, right? You got to do your own homework and all that, right? You can't just go to the classroom next day and cheat. But I'm just saying, ideally,
You could,
you
but
could.
you shouldn't.
But you shouldn't. But you understand what I'm saying? Ideally, I still did my own homework with myself. You know,
It took some situations where you're like, no, I don't want to do that. I have to do this instead.
Right. Getting
Mine,
invited. So
it may have been a little bit longer.
oh, I see what you're saying. But look, you know what I like about that? And that's why I say I agree to disagree. Because everybody's different. People learn different ways. People get distracted by different things, depending on what we're talking about. So ideally, I just feel like with you, you probably needed solitude.
I didn't want it.
It's okay. I said you needed it.
Okay.
It's a difference.
Solitude is important because, being in the city and having access to a lot of things, it's easy to do things that you don't really know if you want to do it or not. It's easy to just try things, I'll say. Yeah. But when you don't do things, or when you're, kind of to yourself, you're able to construct your character, because you can get on the bus, the train, and you could get in the cab. It's so many things to do that are accessible. And then you just kind of forget about doing the inner work, reading, skipping a party, not hanging out with certain friends, because you're just so consumed by the fast life. They say New York City, the city that doesn't sleep. It's true. You can easily just get sucked into things without knowing what you're getting involved in.
Right.
So for me personally, that solitude is necessary, because when you step out, you're able to see everything. Like, it's just moving quick. It's like you're just watching everything, but you're not involved in it. So you're able to say, damn, that's not good. I don't like that. Oh, I like this. Maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
But you're outside looking in.
Right.
If you're in it, how do you know if you like it or not? It's going too fast.
It's true. I can feel you on that. I can agree. That was well said. Wow.
Solitude is important.
Yeah, solitude. No, I believe some type of solitude.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying.
Absolutely. I mean, I wasn't under a rock.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you gotta like explain things like that, because at the end of the day, you want people to understand. Solitude don't mean listen.
I would say skipping out on temporary fun to just kind of lock in and say, okay, I want to do this, and this. How can I do it?
Sacrifice.
Right.
But that's what it takes to be a better person. And honestly, it's just sacrifice. Because
that's how I'm able to know what I want and what I don't want.
Okay. And what age did you feel like, all right, you know what? I definitely know what I want and what I don't want. It's over for me with certain things.
What age?
Yeah.
I've always
always kind of was like that?
I've always kind of been like that, only because growing up.
High school?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I was so not in the in crowd.
Okay.
I was in, but I wasn't in. I was in enough to know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I wasn't in because I was in class.
But hold on. See, I'm the same way. So ideally, first of all, we went to school together, so you got to stop. I seen you. Yeah.
I saw you too.
All right, cool. I just was throwing it out there. I seen you. But I'm saying, ideally, when it comes down to, choosing what to do and what not to do.
I always knew certain things wasn't for me.
Oh, I'm the same way. All right, cool. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah, like
I'm saying the same
I was able to see and like, okay, no, that's not right. I didn't resonate towards what was happening.
Right.
It was just like, oh, okay. It was normal to us.
Yeah.
Because it's not normal to other people. But it's like, oh, that's happening over there. Okay, yeah. Like,
yeah.
It's nothing.
Right.
But it's also not something that I chose to do either. But I always knew that I was a bit different in a way. Like, okay, yeah, like, it was hard for me to make friends that were like me and, on the same wavelength as me. So
right.
I always kind of knew like, okay, yeah, I don't want this. I don't want that. And then, growing up with my dad, I didn't have many friends or knew of other girls that lived with their dads. So for me, he kind of kept me like inside.
Got it.
And that kind of shaped me as well, because I was inside, I was only seeing what was inside.
Right,
I didn't really have that outside influence. I did, but it wasn't stronger than the inside. Yeah. So I was able to really like grow and remain to myself and perfect my character year after year after year, living with my dad, seeing him, you know, going to my mom's occasionally and just kind of like saying, okay, yeah, like this is not my life.
Right.
I had a maintenance of what I should do, what I should not do, the things that I read, the things that I watched. Like it was a constant self-development for me.
Yeah.
And that's because of what I saw every day. So I always kind of worked on myself. I was always further, I'll say. Like 15, when I was 17, I'm like, okay, yeah, I did that at 15. I don't do that at 17. 19, oh, I was 17. I don't do that at... It was always a constant. And also environment and people, like people that I would come in contact with, people that I would talk to, they kind of always confirmed, you know, who I was. Like if I was doing something that I wasn't supposed to do, people would be like, Yellow, you're not supposed to be doing that. Like, you're not, like, it didn't feel right to them.
Yeah,
so they kind of like kept me on that straight and out.
Really,
and I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be doing this because,
yeah.
But somebody else to point it out is like, okay, wow, you see me. Like, this is me. You know I'm not supposed to be doing that. I know I'm not supposed to do that, but at this point, I'm just trying stuff.
Yeah, it's not funny how, it's funny you say that because it was the same way for me because certain things, it's not that you don't dibble and dabble, right? Or maybe try certain things, right? Not everything, but you try certain things. And you're like, yeah, I'm never doing that again.
I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, but it's so funny how a kid will correct another kid and be like, man, that ain't for you.
They see us.
But it's so crazy. At that age, you're still seen as a person. Whoever you are, that character, you're still a person.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times we think because, you know, I think we use the excuse, this is an excuse to me. They kids.
No, I always knew who I was.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, you're a kid, but you're still an individual, right?
Anytime I was doing something that I wasn't supposed to do, I was sent somewhere else to do it.
No, but that makes sense. But that sounds like, to be honest with you, that sounds like the normal black families. Not to even sound like that, but in a city, like, that's normal, right? Like, it's a lot of, let me just tell you right now, everybody's headache child, all that ends up happening is you get sent to grandma's house or you get sent to, you just get sent off somewhere. That's all that happens. Then you meet up with your other bad cousins. It's still the same environment. I mean, I guess it's a little different because it's on a different block, I guess, but it's the same environment. If that makes sense. You didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Overall. But for some people it works. That's why I say I never blame the environment. I blame the individuals.
Right.
Environment can play a big part, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I'm just telling you, it's another side to that coin. Absolutely. And the other side is you got the individual they have inner strength. They know that they don't identify with this stuff. They know that they don't want to be this. Matter of fact, they identify with it. They don't want to be this though. They don't want to be the product of the environment. So I'm just saying that's something that I feel like you have because other than that, your life wouldn't be the way it is today, necessarily. You wouldn't be thinking the way you think. And of course, you have other factors, your dad, your mom, it's just the dynamic. I feel like, and then it always goes back to you. No matter who your parents are, I can show you a good parent, great parents, and I can show you a shitty child. And then I can show you vice versa. Kid was amazing, parents is nothing. It's choice. You know what I'm saying? It's individuals, self-development. All this stuff happens, inner strength. So it all makes sense. Like, that's why I really think that, me and you are so aligned because we identify with each other. Obviously going to the same high school, being from the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? And I just think on who we are, right? Good people, you can see a great person a mile away, you know what I mean? And you would think that you even have to talk to them, but nah. Sometimes you just know, like, nah, they just seem different. They seem cool. Like, you get like a curiosity factor. Right. Yeah, like, man, say something to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? How you been? And then it's like, once you guys hit it off, y'all can just keep talking and talking. Obviously.
Sparks in the sky.
Yeah. But it's amazing though, ideally. So for me, I think meeting you, like reconnecting and everything like that, I just feel like what make it so special. I always think about this, and I don't know if you do, but I be thinking like, man, what happened if this was like from high school? Or what happened if this was from college or, 25?
It would have been different, maybe. Maybe. Big maybe.
Yeah, but when you say different, what do you think? Like, what are you thinking?
I mean, it could have went either way. Like, we could have experienced each other back then and maybe disconnected for
some time.
Separate growth.
Right.
Or we could have just been consistent. But there's a lot of things we wouldn't have experienced possibly.
That's true. That's true. I don't take it back. I'm just throwing it out there. It's things that it came to my mind at a point in time. It's not that that's what I necessarily want. I think things are exactly the way it should be.
Yes.
That's me. That's how I feel. I'm just telling you, I think, like, I thought about it before. Like, man, I wonder if I'd have connected with her back then. But who knows? Like, we do change just little things, right? It's like an iron shirt. Like, I believe every shirt one day has to be ironed. You know what I mean?
To be frank, I feel like we were always who we were supposed to be, just now amplified versions of ourselves. So we could have grown together back then into this without... I personally don't think we had to experience the things that we've experienced. I think...
No, I need to experience heartbreak. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you two things, actually. I need to experience heartbreak, and I need to experience a baddie.
Okay.
You could never be my first baddie experience because this wouldn't be a good experience for me. Long story short, just wouldn't be good.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you.
But to be fair, it probably wouldn't have been like, okay, yeah, we talked in high school. It wouldn't have been heavy at all.
Never heavy. It's always
so, I mean, you're free to do what you need to do.
No, I respect
But just knowing each other then and knowing each other now, I think that the outcome would have been the same.
That's real. I mean, I can, it's funny. I'm real strong on those two things I just said to you, for sure.
And you would have still experienced that.
How? What do you mean? What do you mean I would have still experienced that?
We didn't have to be together in high school.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know, but I need, you couldn't be my first baddie, though. you couldn't be.
I know. You had to.
It would have never worked. I believe for men, that trial and error is so important because when you never had something, you crashing. You hear me? And we from the inner city, we broken. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Our heart is already broken.
We're very mean.
So what I'm saying is we get that gold, it's like, man, did you see her?
You're like a possum, right?
It's over at that point. Exactly. So ideally, it's not good. You definitely crash out. You don't know how to manage your emotions. Number one is just you don't know how to handle a baddie. A baddie been dealing with attention her whole life. So your little extra attention that you think you're doing,
it's nothing.
Is literally nothing. So you got to really stand out. So that's what I'm saying. You really need your mind more than anything. You understand what I'm saying when you're dealing with a baddie? So that, I ain't trying to tell you my secrets and all that, but I'm just telling you, like, we're dealing with you, I just say, I'm myself. So you love that part, but this didn't exist back then for me because I haven't experienced much. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And I didn't have, and it's not that none of my girls was pretty or nothing, but I'm just talking about like a woman that's, understand what I'm saying? You have to experience that heartbreak. For men, I know for sure we have to experience it. Because that makes us the man.
Step it up.
Yeah, it makes you like, hold on, I know what size I wear again?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me act like I got some, like I wear a size 12. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So ideally, I just think that trial and error, it really helped me personally as a man, a boy turned into a man. You understand? And, took it from there. So ideally, all in all, what are you really looking to get out of this show? All in all.
I just want to spread love and positivity.
Okay.
That's it. Like, I just want people to see us and I want to feel them.
It's well said. I wouldn't say it any better. I mean, for me, I just, always look to show love, positivity. I really want to help people. That's really ultimately what this whole thing is about. It's about helping people get to wherever point they want to get to.
Help people to help themselves.
That's it. Discover themselves. Because some people don't even know they exist.
Right.
They so into other people. They don't even know that they're a person themselves.
Yeah.
So just want to, talk to more people and help people find themselves. Therefore, they find their person.
God willing.
Inshallah. That's how you say it. Yeah. So that's really the whole gist of this, But I'm excited. The supporters, to just see everything how it transpires, the interaction, building a community, and I know it's other people out there that's like us. And I think that's what I'm really looking forward to is like finding people that's more like that's aligned with us. They just don't know of us and we don't know of them. So I think I'm really excited about that.
I want people to be willing to, ask us questions, get our point of view on certain topics. Like, I want to create a safe space.
Yeah. Yes. You hit it. You're amazing.
Yeah. I think a safe space is imperative.
Come on. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's super important because a lot of people don't have that safe space with their friends, family, none of that stuff. They don't find no truth in anything that they're doing.
Yeah.
And I really think that's what I'm saying. Us, Alon, and the truth, right? We know a lot of things on a personal level, whatever level you could talk about, we know. Like, nobody could tell me a secret about you. I would just look at them like, oh, yeah, I know that. It'd be funny. It'd probably be something crazy, too. I don't know. Whatever you think, you know what I'm saying? I know. I'm not saying tell me that. I'm just saying that we I'm just saying.
Please don't tell my secret.
All I'm just saying is, in all reality, you know, it's not something that's going to throw me off or deter me from you because we speak so vulnerable. And let me tell you something. You know, let me tell you something, seriously. You know, I never had a girl best friend.
I'm your best friend.
Don't tell nobody. But seriously, though, that's when I knew, like, the love was really different. Seriously. Because I'm not just saying, all right, so the reason why I'm saying a best friend is because I don't feel weird, and I'm speak for the men. Ideally, men, naturally, you bring your girl around or your girl sometimes around, whatever, y'all in events. Sometimes your friend straighten up a little bit. Even you're like, all right, certain things cannot happen here. You understand what I'm saying? Certain things we just wouldn't talk about. Because you just don't want to ruffle no feathers for whatever reason. Right? And it's not that something has to be going on, but you know how that go. We leave that for the fellas.
Right.
But when I'm with you, I'm going to be honest with you. And well, you already know. It's not nothing that, it feel like the guys is here, it wouldn't even matter, to be honest. It's
and
like
that's how it should be.
That's how it should be. I was missing that. I didn't know that I even was missing it until I discovered you.
I had to show you.
That's okay.
It's safe over here.
Listen, that's why I'm here. That's the great thing. And I want other people to feel safe, right? So that's the whole idea of this platform. And then, you know, they start here with the, you know, being safe, and then they could take it to that person where they can feel safe. And that's what really matters. Pretty much, you know, that's pretty much the introduction, you know, to living your truth. That's what we're going to be speaking about, you know, and a lot more stuff, just things that matters, you know, a lot of substance, you know, yeah, and we really want you guys' interaction. Like, it really matters, like the questions, you know, yeah, like things that matter. Talk about the things that matter. I want to talk about the things you ain't talking about at home. I want to talk about it. I know you want to talk about it. Yeah.
I sure do.
I want to talk. I like pulling cards too. I'm into that. Like, I got 52
yeah.
deck. You understand what I'm saying? I'm into that. Because guess what? It's not that I'm being vicious or nothing, but it's just we're avoiding it. That's why we're not getting nowhere. You keep avoiding. And it's like, why are you avoiding this? This really matters. And it's okay. Maybe you couldn't get that at home. Maybe you couldn't get it from your spouse, but that's okay. The platform, this is why the platform is here. The safe space. You get to chill with the cool kids, be a part of the cool kid club. You understand what I'm saying? And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a journey. And, you know, we love to experience this all together. That's what life is about. It's about helping each other. Iron sharpens iron. So stay tuned. Like, subscribe. And whatever you do, don't let nobody ruin your day.
Good job, Eminem.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.